other areas? You guys tell me. Where are areas we're developing skill set right now?
Discipline.
Discipline's a broad one. Can you break it down even more specific?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said a little bit about it, such as time blocking. I think another one is applying the resources we have, like putting people on smart plans, follow-ups, grabbing the leads when they come up on the lead thing. And yeah, I think there's just a lot of different things.
That leveraging, I think you're going into, right? Rather than what many of us fall into is I have to do everything myself because I only want to do it my way. That's what I've told myself. And even with new hires, I don't fully give them autonomy to move forward because I think I have to do everything on my own. And then I work, 24 hours a day, 24/7. So yeah, leveraging, realizing where we can get assistance and where we can find help. Anyone else? What's something you're struggling through learning? I mean, even if we're breaking down lead generation or appointments or closing, like anything from A to Z in the transaction process, what's something some of you guys are working on?
I have one.
Yeah.
Just contracts, like addendums and stuff. Like it's just a lot. Honestly.
Yes, it is. It is.
We have mindset every morning and stuff, but we don't have like contracts every day. So like, I'm just trying to get to a place where I make myself have that every day too,
Okay.
So I get it.
Yeah. Okay. So what is our plan around learning contracts, right?
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the Trello board. Like there are like parts of it on the Trello board. So I've been like going and watching the videos on the Trello board.
Yeah. Or there's going to the MLS. We've talked about the MLS classes you can sign up for, right? There's a forms class. Any other pieces? So is it safe to say there's a lot to learn kind of all at once, right? Learning about reaching out to individuals, learning contracts, learning how to lead people through the process when maybe I don't even know the entire process from A to Z of managing a transaction. I mean, learning title, all of that, right? There's a lot. So with those 4 quadrants, I'm gonna give a couple of examples here, but it really breaks down into this, okay? I'm gonna have to repeat this, I'm sure, but first there's what we don't know. We don't know what we don't know, okay? Maybe I get licensed in real estate and I say, I'm licensed now, here I am world, I'm ready to take on this business and dominate and build a successful business, right? I don't know all these things that I need to learn. I don't know what I don't know. The next is you begin to learn what you don't know. So you're starting to become aware of, wow, there's a lot more to this than I thought. And we're very aware of all the things we don't know and things we need to improve on. Next, we're consciously getting better in these areas. We're practicing each of these areas that we need to build skill set in. We're looking for individuals to help us through different processes. We're looking for classes to go to. Dominique talked about getting better at contracts. So learning where to go and having a plan around it and building experience. And then lastly, we reach a point at which we develop a skill set that's second nature to us. So an example I give at times with this is, let's say someone gets their driver's license, right? If I want you guys to think of the time that you were backing out of your driveway the first time once you had your driver's license. How was that? You guys remember? Did anyone hit anything? Hit a mailbox, hit the garage? But take me through your mindset when you're backing out of your driveway for the first time. Is it easy? Are you taking your time?
Scared. Yeah, taking time. Really scared.
Yeah, a lot of fear. Yeah, thinking of all the bad things that can potentially happen.
Right? I think I was with my friend and I was like, I'm free.
Yeah. So other than Sarah, did anyone else go slower than 20 miles an hour out their driveway, fishtailing? So yeah, we're painfully aware of the things we don't know. And we're kind of taking baby steps through things, trying to learn different aspects of the business. The next part is we begin to practice. So maybe after backing out of my driveway, I still have to pay a lot of attention, but we call that conscious competence. So I'm very aware of the things I'm doing and the things I need to improve upon, but I'm working at it and I'm seeing an improvement, right? But I still have to put a lot of thought into it. And then eventually we get to the point where I'm late for work, late for school. I've backed out of the same driveway enough. I don't have to think about it at all. I'm literally coming out, guns blazing, getting out of my driveway and getting ready to go to work or to school. And I don't even think twice about it. So the reason I share this with you guys is there's levels of learning. There's quadrants of learning. And many times it's easy to think, man, I don't know this. It may always be that way. As long as we have a plan to consistently build experience and work at it, it's not going to stay that way. We're going to learn and develop the skill set necessary to do things without even being able to explain it. One thing that Robin introduced in one of her classes a while back is when we practice scripts, she did a script class with us. Eventually, we're practicing scripts enough and lead generating enough that they don't even have to think about what they're saying. They aren't painfully aware of, well, I have to say this next, or how do I ask this question, right? And it's actually very difficult for those individuals to explain what they're doing because it becomes second nature. So I'm going to invite you guys within different areas of your business, look first, if you rate different areas of your business, where your skill set is and what area of the quadrant you're in on the learning phase. And then third, what is your plan to move to the next quadrant? So we talked about contracts. We talked about lead generation. We talked about there's scripting, which is a part of lead generation. But what do I say and how am I helping people open up? There's multiple areas, but you need to absolutely look at the area that you need to work on and what is your plan to improve it. And are you reaching out to the right individuals around you to help you improve in those areas? What are your guys' thoughts around this? Like, I'd like to hear from you guys. What's one thing? I know Dominique talked about contracts, but what's one thing for you guys this week that you can begin to focus on? And what quadrant do you think you're in there in the 4 levels of learning?
I need to lead generate. I've not been great at that.
Okay, so that's a discipline we do, but what's a skill set within lead generation that you think you can improve, that you can learn?
I don't know.
Just so you know, when I hear that, I hear it's one of 2 areas. One, it's building the skill set to set the time and protect that time with life and a million other responsibilities coming at me, to where I make sure I am lead generating consistently. So that's a skill set I learned, right? In protecting certain times of the day or certain days throughout the week to be able to dedicate to the business. Yeah. And how efficient am I through those exercises, right? So it could either be that side, or it could be developing a skill set around like learning to be ready to lead gen once I start. So having the right tools and resources ready to go. Then on top of that, having the right scripts or practicing the script where I can lead people through to an appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna go swarm, so I was gonna go door knocking this week and forgot that my son's on spring break. Yeah. So I've got him all week.
Yeah. Who else? Who else has something you're looking to build?
I'm going to work on the listing presentation this week. And so I need to work on the organization of that and what questions to ask and the steps going through it.
Okay. Dominique, I'm going to pick on you. You said contracts, but it's important to me you learn this. What is your plan to master specific contracts this week?
Well, I don't think that's going to be my thing for the week, but I think I'm going to do that too.
Okay.
But my plan for that, because that, I want it to be around lead generating, because like that feels like the most important thing, but
Yeah.
my plan around contracts is to, for 30 minutes a day, listen to a video about a different contract and write notes on it.
Awesome.
But then my thing for the week is going to be around lead gen, but it's going to be listening. Like I just need to limit myself and what I say, like, and repeat and affirm, but not guide the whole conversation, like let them guide it.
Yeah. Love it. Can you guys tell when we're specific around these areas, it gives us a plan and we become more resourceful to improve these areas, right? If not, we are going to be stuck in that place of, it's called conscious incompetence. It's the second quadrant. And that's when we're looking at, I don't know any of this other stuff and I don't know where to start. It's a lot of times where we throw our hands in the air and say, well, I just don't know, or I didn't know. Right? It's being aware, painfully aware of the things we need to improve. It's important moving into that next quadrant that we do have a plan around, one, what precisely needs to improve with my skill set, and then two, what is my plan around it? There's one thing I'd like to share with you guys here in closing, and it's called the success pendulum. And have I shared this with you guys at all? Have we talked about that? Has anyone heard about that?
I have not heard you talk about it.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Elizabeth. So the success pendulum, let me go to my whiteboard. Okay, here goes. Let's look at my drawing abilities. So the success pendulum, let's say we start here. I'm gonna move this up. Can't move that. Okay. So the success pendulum, let's start up here. And a pendulum, we always know, one rule is it's always going to swing in the opposite direction to nearly the same point, right? So keep in mind, I'm writing with this facing up. Okay. So we know that it's going to swing in one direction nearly as far as the other direction over time, right? Now, one thing I'd like to share with you is we have two ideas about the business, and there's two sides to it. There's one, how we define success, and success we can define as, you know, this week getting someone when I'm lead generating to say, yes, I'd like to meet with you. It could be moving someone in my pipeline, a buyer through to putting an offer in and having an accepted offer. It can be also within how I define success for the month. It can be getting to 2 transactions a month or 24 transactions a year, however I define that. Then on the opposing side, we have how many of us define as failure, or I'm going to say could also be rejection. Okay. Now, one question I have for you guys, let's say, well, one question before going into that is, would you guys say in our business that there's a high probability or a lot of opportunity to see rejection, failure, things that don't work out? Do you think there's a high level of that in our business?
Yes.
Yes, the answer is yes, right? We can find that quite often. I can tell you in my work, I can reach out to quite a few individuals this morning, and I can immediately hear quite a few no's. Now, one thing I'd like to introduce is, let's say in another line of work, let's say I work at a fast food place, and at this fast food place, I have a job. I don't know exactly what it looks like in creating a hamburger, but let's say I am that one person that has a job to throw, or let's just say the burgers are created and my job is to throw lettuce and cheese on a burger and move it on to the next person. Now, and that is what I'm doing my entire shift. I simply see this patty come across, throw lettuce and cheese on it and move it through to the pickle and mustard guy. I don't know how it works. Would you say there's a high level of possibility that I would get that job wrong that there would be failure, a high probability of failure in that job if I had that simple task to do every single day? Are you guys with me this morning?
No.
Like,
Oh,
I'm
there's-
with you.
No, I'm
There-
saying no to
there's
you
not.
get the job wrong.
Yeah, there's not a high probability of that, right? And what's interesting is, like, I don't think someone is going to show up one day and say, Chris, you are the best cheese and lettuce placer guy that we have ever had the opportunity to work with in this location. You are management material. You need a raise. That's likely not going to happen. It's a pretty menial task that doesn't require a high level of skill set and putting myself out there, right? So my level of, or the degree of failure or rejection isn't very high. And then as it swings another direction, my area of success and opportunity for growth is also not very high. Are you guys following what I'm saying here? In our business, what does it look like? I mean, we have a high, again, a lot of opportunity for rejection, failure, however it is that we define that, to move all the way out on this side. However, what's important to understand is there's also a high degree in opportunity for success. The amount that we earn on one closed deal is astronomically more than many other people that are in sales that also find rejection, right? It's important that we understand that at some point for me, I remember with a business coach, I was really complaining about what I was going through at the time. I was complaining about a specific builder that was so difficult to work with. I was complaining about not having enough time in the day. I was complaining about not receiving the training or mentorship that I wanted. I was complaining about needing to be home for family and not having enough time. And one thing that this individual said that helped me in a big way, she said, what is your opportunity? What will you earn in commission from this project working with this particular builder? I was like, well, if I break down each of these homes listed, I guess my area of opportunity, I would make this much money in commission. And she said, how in the world can you assume that you can go about doing everything you've always done the exact same way, face no failure, possibility of failure or rejection, and earn that amount of money? And that immediately put me in the right place of, sure, I can look externally at all of these things that aren't fair, but am I focusing on the rejection itself and how bad those things are? Or am I focusing on where I need to build skill set to deserve that level of success? So I'd like to invite you guys, like, look specifically at these areas in skill set that you can improve. As you do so, I cannot say this more clearly. As you focus on what you can do to improve within these 4 quadrants of learning and have an actionable plan week in and week out to improve those areas, you will deserve that level of success. But there's something we tell ourselves many times that, I'm a good person. I think I'm doing everything I should. Success should just find me. That's really not the way it works. It comes down to where am I improving and how am I attacking this week? And once you do that, I'm just going to tell you, success or whatever it is you're going after, it just shows up. It does. So whatever it is that you guys need to build skill set in, whether it's just communication in general, walking people through a sales process, leading, value proposition, time blocking more effectively and using the right tools to do so, learning contracts, learning any area it is, I hope you'll reach out to me and say, Chris, when are we going to set up a time to look at this specific area to build a plan to build my skill set? So I'm going to leave that with you guys today. Unless someone has something you would like to share, as a group, somewhere you may need help with, and you want to reach out to others in building that skill set. Does anyone have anything you'd like to share before we wrap up? Well, all right. I'm here to help, guys. Please reach out to me, set up a time with me. But I am going to look at specifically how are we using this time effectively for you to move you through these quadrants. And also, as we just accept that I absolutely need to face that level of rejection or things not working out to experience that level of success because of what I'm learning in the process. Once we do that, this business gets a whole lot easier and a whole lot less frustrating. Okay, but we just have to pay our dues. I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate you showing up consistently. I get it. It's not easy. I'm not trying to say it is, but I'm grateful to be going through all of this with you. So I'm here in battle with you to make your business happen and let me know how I can help. Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
Have an awesome week. Okay, see ya.